The government is open, but don't think this is over. The fight goes on. The Tea Party clowns coming up. But first, if you prefer your comedy from people who aren't currently serving in Congress, my sponsor, Callback, is a hub for new and original comedic voices.
Like most hardworking professionals, your appearance is key to your success.
Want to see how animals get their food?
Was it good?
So good.
Subscribe to Callback for great comedy videos. Click here. Yes, the GOP caved, or as the Grey Lady says, Republicans back down in fiscal standoff. Let's review. The GOP started with a demand to defund Obamacare or the government gets it. The President said no deal. The Senate, where Democrats are in control, said no deal. The government got it. Controlling only one house of Congress, however, there was no way for the Republicans to force a defunding of Obamacare, but that didn't stop them from trying. They were hoping that President Obama and the Democrats would blink. They didn't blink. The GOP escalated. Defund Obamacare or the global economy gets it. Still from the Democrats, no blink. With the U.S. on the brink of defaulting, the grownups in the Republican Party prevailed and said, as the last possible minute, let's not be completely crazy here. And it was the GOP that blinked. Actually, not the whole GOP, just a minority of them, who broke away from the hardliners to join with Democrats and vote to raise the debt limit and open the government. Remember that. A majority of the GOP voted to keep the government shut and to default on U.S. obligations. What the GOP got instead of defunding Obamacare was the lowest favorability ratings in the history of several polls. What they got was a self-inflicted black eye. But black eye or no, the underlying dynamics haven't changed. All that's happened so far is we've set the board back to where it was 3 weeks ago, but now with new deadlines. Democrats and Republicans are still far apart on budget priorities, still far apart on what to do about Social Security and Medicare. It's like a video game. The GOP dies, the game reboots, and they play with a new life. But in one important way, the GOP may already have won. Spending levels are much lower than Democrats want them to be. GOP doctrine says that our big problem as a country is the deficit. Democrats, and by the way, most economists, believe that short-term, the big problem is not the deficit, but the sluggish economy and high unemployment. In this kind of economy, deficit spending isn't a bad thing at all. Interest rates are near historic lows, which means borrowing is cheap. More spending will provide jobs, fix our aging roads and bridges, boost the economy, and that will in turn give us a bigger tax base and boost future government revenues. If you really want to shrink the deficit, grow the economy. Winners and losers? Winners, members of the Democratic leadership, President Obama, Majority Leader in the Senate, Harry Reid, House Minority Leader, Nancy Pelosi. Democrats now have a chance of taking back the House in 2014, and that means Nancy Pelosi has a chance of becoming Speaker again. Also a winner, as I'll explain, Republican Senator Ted Cruz, but he was also a loser. Losers, the United States lost $24 billion in the shutdown, nearly lost the ability to govern ourselves according to majority rule, and we became a puzzling laughingstock internationally. Big losers, the GOP, the Tea Party, and way too many congressmen and senators to mention individually, all exposed as demagogues and unprincipled, ignorant blunderers. Also a loser, freshman Senator Ted Cruz, the firebrand demagogue from Texas, who led the GOP on this charge of futility. His favorability rates plunged from a net positive of 6 points last June to a net negative of 10 points now. He is not well liked. And yet in the narrow universe of his own Tea Party, his favorables are up to 74%. Some polls show him as the leading candidate for the GOP presidential nomination in 2016. To his voters in Texas, he's a hero. The Tea Party may be a mountain of manure, but Ted Cruz is king of the mountain. Until next time, I'm Mickeleh. My series on the shutdown. My previous video on YouTube and the long tail. Follow me on Twitter. Circle me on Google+. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Oh, and while you're at it, please click like, and I will see you all in the comments. Bye now.